Well, hello, vinyl community. It's Jacob coming to you from the Dallas Open Micer YouTube channel here for the 2023 Vinyl Tag Rob Walker edition. Thought for this special occasion I'd put on my favorite shirt. Like a good record, I have multiple copies of this one. I've got three. Anyway, this is perhaps the one in the best condition, closest to near mint. So let's see what we're going to start with here. Favorite find or album from 2022. Favorite album from 2022. This is Brennan Lee with Asleep at the Wheel, Obsessed with the West. This is an album I had not been listening to until November. Learned about this artist from Headley, another fat bearded man, and not long after, Headley informed me that this was his favorite record of 2022. This Brennan Lee was performing at the Bob Wills Fiddle Festival with the Bob Wills namesake band. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. A great record from 2022, the only record from 2022 that I own, and it's got Brennan Lee with Asleep at the Wheel. What a fantastic find that was. Thanks for the tip, Headley. All right, so next, the last artist I saw live the last band that I saw live was the 2-Bit Swing Band, based out of Denton. I don't have any of their records. I don't believe they have a record out. They are like a brand new baby band, but one of their members, Ginny Mack, is a member of Asleep at the Wheel, and I did see Asleep at the Wheel in October. So anyway, a little bit of a stretch there. Of course, Ginny Mack did not appear on this double album with the Bob Wills fathers and sons. Bob Wills in fake stereo, and then they took this Asleep at the Wheel album and tacked it on there. It's a fun gatefold. I also have the single LP edition of the Asleep at the Wheel album, but there's Ray Benson, the main man behind Asleep at the Wheel. And let's move on to prompt number 3. I'm gonna set these things down. I am leaving the records in their protective plastic sleeves. I didn't want to take them out and put them back in, and I'm not going to do that for you on the camera. Now, if you want to see these records without the sleeves, you can just search them up on Google if you don't have them. All right, next one. A band that their first album was the best, Traveling Wilburys. I don't think anyone's going to try to dispute that one. A lot of fun. That's something that just came out spontaneously, and you can hear that spontaneous joy and energy in that recording. Wonderful artists there. You don't need me to say anything more about that. Now, next up, a hat trick. Now I'm going to show 2 hat tricks. So this first one is an artist that Rob Walker despises, can't handle, can't stand. Oops, sorry, my gloves sometimes squeak. And Rob Walker, if you don't want to see this, avert your eyes. Here we have a cassette copy of Paul Simon's Graceland album. Back in the days when I had a car with a cassette deck, I played this quite a lot in the car. And I also, from time to time these days, I'll play this one in the car. I've got a car with a CD player. And if I'm listening at home, here I have this on the record there. Some people say greatly overrated album. I enjoy it quite a bit. Anyway, what do we have next? Oh, I gotta catch myself. I say anyway way too much. If you'd like to help me out by publicly shaming me for doing that, I won't mind. It'll be for my own good. Next up, Rob Walker. You can look again. It's another hat trick. Here we have one that people really shouldn't be able to criticize here. Willie Nelson, Red-Headed Stranger on cassette. I've never actually listened to this cassette. Who knows if it could be something that's all garbled. It's a very earlier 80s copy. It looks like probably sounds terrible. Probably spent some time in the hot Texas sun. Got this CD, probably overly compressed. This was something I bought on clearance. I didn't spend too much money on that one, but occasionally play that one in the car. And for listening at home, oops, the Red-Headed Stranger on the Columbia LP. Wonderful stuff. This one could have worked out as album number 3 on a great 3-run set that started with Shotgun Willie. All right, what do we have next? An album title that starts and ends with the same letter. We have the letter E. We got David Lee Roth, Eat, M, and Smile. So David Lee Roth, I guess this came out after he had gone down to Papua New Guinea on his travels, and this is a bit of a inspiration meets cultural appropriation. Got that. It's fixing to rain here in Texas tomorrow, and the humidity has made its way into the apartment. All right, let's see what's next. Someone that was born the same year as me. I didn't think I was going to find anybody. Did a Google search, and I found some names of people I don't like, but here's one. Hadn't listened to this record in, at least 10 years, but it's Norah Jones, and put this on the turntable today, and I was not impressed with the sound quality of the record. I may clean it again, and it's supposed to be this super vinyl, 200 gram classic Quiex SV-P handmade super vinyl profile. Anyway, it sounded awful. Sounded like I was playing it on a Fisher-Price stereo. Maybe it just needs a cleaning. I don't know, but this CD sounded better. All right, what do we have next? I did not say anyway. Next up, an album that I've listened to the most in 2022. A couple of different variants of this. A Johnny Bush Greatest Stop Hits. I've got the collection, the CD collection in the car that has more songs than this, but I also do listen to this. I really like this record, particularly side 2 starts out with the Ray Price number, I'll Be There. And anyway, early Johnny Bush from Stop, great stuff. Got this autographed Johnny Bush picture that I tucked in there on a Johnny Bush's pals gifted that to me at a Johnny Bush show at the Little Red's Longhorn Saloon. The fellow was selling some Johnny Bush items, and I purchased some, and he threw that one in as a freebie. So there's a Johnny Bush in the late 80s, early 90s, perhaps, with the skunky beard. Pretty neat stuff. Got the jewelry going there. Should be wearing an undershirt, but anyway, still love this album. And the artist that I've listened to the most in 2022, and it's going to be locked for 2023, 2024, probably every year for the rest of my life, is Bach. Here we have Brandenburg Concertos. This is a German pressing on Decca with Carl Richter. It's mono, but I'm still quite happy to have that one. I enjoy mono, I enjoy stereo, and if the mono's cheap, I'm definitely not gonna turn my nose up at it. I'm not gonna be a stereo snob, and if I was, I would have missed out on that wonderful find. All the Brandenburg Concertos there for $1 or $2. Next up, an Australian record. I just picked this up a couple days ago. was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago, at Josie Records end of year clearance sale, and I have no idea who this is. It's the Rads, the Rads. It's very 80s. Anyway, it looked like a fun thing to try for 25 cents. It's got the hype sticker on the record itself, so there's no conflict of interest with the shrink. It's got the gold stamp, and it's on EMI. EMI America, coming from Australia, to put out an album on EMI America. Could be fun. If it's not, it will go in a box. A record that you might not expect me to have. Well, here we have it. Another purchase, 25 cents, Josie Records clearance end of year sale for 2022. I have no idea who Blowball is. They have a earthlink.net email address if you want to contact them. And they were a band out of Oxnard, California. Oxnard is not one of the most desirable places to live in Southern California, so maybe they have some grit to them, that they were a scrappy band in a part of the state where the air pollution is thick, trapped by the mountains. All right, what do we have next? A complete, so an artist that I have a complete discography of. Well, not all the singles and everything, but I have a complete album discography between records and CDs and all the many different labels he performed on. Billy Joe Shaver is an artist that is worth being a completist with. His records have gotten ridiculously expensive lately, but anyway, they are starting to show signs of coming back down. You know, I don't think that people are actually listening to them. I think people are mostly just snapping them up, and they follow the price. But Billy Joe Shaver, this could have also been a 3-run set entry. The 3 albums Billy Joe Shaver put out on Columbia before they unceremoniously dropped him. The first 2 are quite excellent. The third one is pretty good to above average, and it has a great album cover. But this, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday, is a modern masterpiece. All right, what do we have next? Now we got the 3-album run, a great 3-album run here. Bob Dylan, coming back from the dead, not only resurrecting his body but his career in the late 90s. This Time Out of Mind, this is an anniversary reissue. It's got a bonus single thrown in there, Lovesick. Now these 3-album run Bob Dylans are, you know, they're kind of in rotation as my favorite Bob Dylan albums quite often. Next one, not an original pressing. This is one I picked up a couple years ago, perhaps We Are Vinyl. I wasn't greatly impressed by the sound of this issue. Happy to have it, I suppose. But anyway, I do love this record. It's one I picked up on the day it came out, September 11th, 2001. All right. And this one here, Bob Dylan Modern Times. Now this one's a double, and it gets so thick. I put the records in a separate sleeve that I slide next to this one. This is just the cover here. Modern Times, 2006. It's got the wonderful song When the Deal Goes Down on here. Oh my goodness, good stuff. Thunder on the Mountain, Rolling and Tumbling, Someday Baby, Working Man Blues #2. Nettie Moore, Ain't Talking, fantastic, and what an amazing cover. Bob Dylan does pay his respects to classic Americana right there. All right, moving along, we've got the soundtrack of the 80s. It's an album I already had, but I picked up another copy of this at Josie Records a couple days ago, 25 cents. Thought it might be an upgrade copy. You can see the cover's not in amazing shape right there. But great pickup. I've always liked this soundtrack, and then we do have an artist here who passed in 2022, the age of 79, Vangelis. But my official entry for an artist who passed in 2022 goes to Bobby Nelson, affectionately called Little Sister, although she was the elder sister of Willie Nelson. She played piano in Willie's band, or the family band. Brother got top billing, but she was a big part of that Willie Nelson sound, and sad she's no longer with us. This is the Family Bible album. Surprising to me, was on MCA Records. I don't know what that contract was that allowed that to happen. Next up, we've got an album that was a disappointment in 2022. This is a recent pickup. Got at Half Price Books for a very reasonable price. Bob Brosman, and I had no idea who this was, but that was an appealing cover. It's Blue Hula Stomp. That looked fun. Says here he's the like the greatest national guitar player in the world, and that he does a lot of throwback music that's a tribute or inspired by the acoustic recordings from the 20s and 30s. And I was really looking forward to playing this, but I read about this fella on the internet, and he trying to say this in a way that the YouTube algorithms won't catch on. He, to put it politely, took the coward's way out of this world, and now the reason for that, some people speculated, was due to an accident he had, I think in 1981, that was going to limit his ability to play. But then there were also a lot of allegations about certain behaviors that might motivate one to take the coward's way out rather than face justice or face the accusers. So I don't know that I'm ever going to be listening to this one, but I'm sure, however black this man's heart and soul may have been, that these were probably fun recordings to listen to. Coming up next, a non-vinyl purchase. Got this at the Half Price Books clearance sale, October 22nd, 2022. The King Cole Trio, and looking forward to that. I picked up one of those Audio Technica turntables that can play at the 78 RPM speed for my turntable for work, and at some point I'll be picking up a cartridge with a 78 needle, and I'll get to give this a spin. It's been quite a few years since I've had a functioning or 78 player. The one I showed in a video from the summer, didn't last too long. I might just need a new belt, but I wasn't overall impressed with that player. Next up, a Grail. Now, this is an album that you can find online really for cheaper than what a lot of new vinyl goes for these days, which is still, I think, more than I'm willing to pay for a record. But I found this one for a very, 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 very reasonable price at Half Price Books. There was a gentleman, this is the Half Price Books in Richardson, that had sold off his country guitar collection. A lot of Chet Atkins, some Merle Travis, and then there was this very beat up cover. I don't know if that was mold or mildew or what have you down there. I wiped that really good with rubbing alcohol, but I don't think it's gonna kill me. It might just be dirt, but didn't want to take my chances. But this Buddy Emmons Steel Guitar Convention Presents Volume 2 plays a lot of good. It's Buddy Hemmons when he's gotten the jazz going. Very good stuff here. So let's see what familiar tracks he's got. Here's That Rainy Day, West Coast Blues, The Way to Survive, The Great Stream, and At Ease 720. Not a lot of stuff I'm familiar with, but I do love this record. It is one of the greatest joys I've experienced in the past year. It's that good. Let's see what's next. We're getting near the end of the show, aren't we? A space theme. Here we have. I got most of my mid-century background bachelor pad style music at work, and those have more of the space images on there. But found this one, another one from the Half Price Books clearance sale, October 22nd, 2022. Have not gotten this one cleaned up to play yet, but it is Roy Acuff, the Great Speckled Bird, and then you see the Great Speckled Bird there. Its speckles are like stars in the sky, and this iconic image of the cowboy looking off into the green night sky at the stars and the Great Speckled Bird. This is early Harmony reissued material, but it's when Harmony was still putting out mono, and before they got into that fake stereo kick that I've got this as a fake stereo album, and sorry, I got a little burpy. Got to clean this one up and see how much better it sounds. I hope it's not gonna play rough. But anyway, the Great Speckled Bird is used as a metaphor. This is a hymn that was used in the religious wars of the past century, when the modernist churches were trying to water down the Bible and keep with the times, and the fundamentalists were like, no, we're not going to do that. But they used a tune from the composer, used a recycled tune, and then this Great Speckled Bird tune also got used in some other songs, most notably that God Didn't Make Honky Tonk Angels number. But anyway, oh, I caught myself saying it. Punished myself. Let's see what's next. VCLT and or a gift. Well, I got something that came in the package. I won the Vinyl Scavengers contest and got some of his music. Those discs that he sent me are down in the car, like Martin's experimental patchwork albums. But he also sent me some coasters for fun, and this is the Chiltern Brewery. I looked them up online. These are you see this has got some of I've added some stains to that one from use. I read the reviews on some of their beers, and they get about 3.5 out of a 5 rating. So they're rated by the beer websites as being a slightly above average beer, but not considered world class. But the reviews of the brewery get high marks. But anyway, I've been using that one, and it's currently in use. Actually, I'm hydrating myself with Gatorade. All right. Let's end the show. I got 2 more records here. I've got a gift. I was gifted this one. It's a record people talk about a lot in the vinyl community. There's this RL that's scratched into the dead wax on here, and people go nuts over that. But I don't know if you've read the Wikipedia page for this album, or this fella that played the guitar in the band, Jimmy Page. He was an elite pedophile occultist, and turns out that he stole a lot of the music that they put on this album from blues musicians. And when the blues musician said, "Hey, you've been ripping us off, you elite pedophile occultist from Britain," rather than do the honorable thing the way he could afford to do, being an elite pedophile occultist, he let those matters be settled in court and refused to, I guess, accept wrongdoing. And that Jimmy Page fella, one of the biggest creeps, I think, walking the earth today. I don't like the guy. And anyway, I politely accepted this gift along with other albums, but I have, it's not my cup of tea. Let's see what we have next. What is my cup of tea? Something that came out in 2020. Sorry, something came out 50 years ago. My brain and my mouth are not cooperating much right now, but something that came out 50 years ago. So that would bring us back to 1973. Now, again, name dropping Headley, at another fat bearded man. He did a video about 1973. Made the bold claim that it was the best year in music, or best year in recorded music, and I'll piggyback on that sentiment. Although I'll narrow it down, I'll say it's the best year in recorded country music, and specifically Texas country music. That's where all the best country records came from in 1973 was Texas artists. And when I get around to doing Headley's country vinyl tag, I'll mention that in a video for sure. But here's a record that could have arguably, depending on tastes, been the artist's best album, and a fine record from 1973. We have the debut record from Kinky Friedman, Sold American. They're on Vanguard. Now, it's about as perfect as an album you can get right there. And with that being said, I'll end this one. And gosh, I was thinking I might have been long-winded enough to make this into 2 videos. I was prepared to do that, but anyway, by keeping this under a half hour, I'm only going to have to make 1 thumbnail for this video, and that's exciting. So thank you, Rob Walker. Much appreciated. This was a lot of fun. If you would like to check out Rob Walker's channel and you're too lazy to search it for yourself, or you don't get it popping up in your algorithm, I'll put the link to Rob Walker's 2023 tag down there. And if you would like to see more of my videos, you can watch them here by clicking here or here. Thank you all. Happy 2023.